This is Golden Bridge, the notorious orphanage where I spent almost 5 years. Hell on earth would be the best description of it. Yeah, I got on with life and I got married in 1976 to Mary. We had 2 lovely daughters. I got a job in the Office of Public Works. I tried to lift, myself up out of that misery. I didn't let it get me down. But it was always in the back of my head, and I never told Mary and I never told my daughters. I tried to bury it and I tried to suppress it, and I drank a bit to forget. And pretty soon you can't remember what you're drinking and what you're trying to forget, And ended up then, Mary and I separated. I ended up on the streets. Well, this area is Sur Bridge here. This is where I would have spent a lot of my time when I was on the streets. My buddy Tommy, who I hooked up with, an old hand on the streets, 25 years, he taught me all the little things you need to know. The day it was like Groundhog Day, they all kind of blended, but the average day was that you probably wouldn't have got much sleep the night before. You'd be really cold, pins and needles. So the first thing we do is wrap up our bedding, me and Tommy, put it into black bags, and then we'd go down to the Simon community and give our bag of blankets into Usher's Island. Until that evening, until that night time, we collect them again. On the streets, if you don't tap, you don't live. You don't have money, you can't buy your drink, you can't buy anything, and tapping is begging. So I didn't have to really tap much because everybody knew me around John's Lane. I was a permanent fixture outside the door, blessing people as they came and went. We'd buy our drink for the night time, and it's a few cans. It's not like a party or a session. It's to get you through the night, and then get back up here then as early as we could before it got dark to set up our bedding, and then we'd stand up on the bridge there, and me and Tommy was a great philosopher, so he talked about life and the things in life that were important was not leaving behind lots of money, but what you can give to society, what you can bequeath to society. And he was a very wise man. So we spent some time up on that bridge watching the swans and just talking about life in general. And then we'd bed down there for the night to begin it all again. The Simon community were the safety pin in my life. They held everything together because when I was on the streets, they minded my blankets and they kept me warm, and they guided me towards different services. They were there for me all the time, 365 days a year, and everybody on the streets knows the Simon community are volunteers and that they have your best interests at heart. So now when I go collecting for the Simon community, I'm tapping this time, but I'm tapping for those who need it the most. People just walk over and give you money because they know all of it is going to Simon. Sadly, Tommy passed away a while ago on the streets, still on the streets, and that's sad, and I feel mixed emotions because of that. If he could see me now, he'd laugh and he'd say, "Well, Glenn, don't forget who you are. Don't forget where you came from." And I won't. I'm not embarrassed about my past. It made me who I am.